I had a student ask me about modes yesterday, and I said I would make a little follow-up video about his question. And before we do too much, um, I don't really use. There's 7 modes. I only use like 3 of them. Um, I use Ionian, which is simply a major scale. Ionian, which is simply a minor scale, and Mixolydian, which is a major scale with a flatted 7th, which makes it more rock and roll sounding. Let's just check those 3 modes out. I'm going to do C. Wait, let's do G. G major would be G Ionian. So that's one of the modes I use. It's simply Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do. In the key of G, it's G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. And you really got to know that. If you're going to talk about music theory, you have to have a firm understanding of what a major scale is. Sometimes people want to talk about theory with me, yet they have not put in much time with their scales. So the conversation's not going to get very far before we get really bogged down. So to communicate with musicians, you need to know at least a major scale. And there's 12 keys. So we're going to stay with G. Let's do it again. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and G. And let's just put a G chord with that. Let's do G minor, which is G Aeolian mode. It's like this, which we're going to flat a few notes. Instead of a B, it's going to be a B flat. Instead of an E, it's going to be an E flat. Instead of a F sharp, it's going to be an F. So here it is. It's G, the root, A, that's our second, B flat, it's our minor third. Watch my fingering. That makes sense, right? Index, ring, pinky. All right. Now you got your C, D, and E flat. So the fingering makes it easy. If you stick with simple, normal fingering, 4 fingers, 4 frets, it'll just eliminate a lot of random accidents. Then instead of an F sharp, you got F to G. Might want to play a G minor chord with a G minor scale. Alright, major and minor, cool. The other mode I use is Mixolydian, which is just like major, only we flat that F sharp down to an F. F to G. Sounds more rock and roll than the half step. Here's major. Kind of has that happy ending. Instead of a half step, a whole step sounds more rock and roll like. Alright, that's Mixolydian. The other modes like Phrygian, no. Lydian, not much. Dorian, don't really care for it. Don't need it much. Maybe I play it a little bit. And Locrian. It's kind of hard to find a place for Locrian. So those modes are interesting, but for an average guitar player, don't feel bad if you're not playing those 4 modes. Let me give you one final thing on Mixolydian. Check this out. This is why it's cool. let's see if I can do one more melody in Mixolydian. I'm going to go. Recognize that? Pretty famous. So to me, Mixolydian really sounds like the 60s. It's got just that kind of slightly psychedelic sitar, kind of Indian vibe, just slightly. Did I say psychedelic already? I forgot. Memory loss. All right. So to review, in my opinion, for modes, don't get too hung up on it. Work on Mixolydian, major, which is, can I say it? I can't even say it. Major is Ionian. Aeolian is minor. And Mixolydian is like major with a flatted 7. Those 3 modes, you'd be pretty good. If you can find use for the other modes, let me know. That's cool. I don't care. But, I'm just trying to reduce your workload, take a little bit of, if you're feeling like you're missing out on something, don't feel too bad about missing out on those 4 modes. They're just kind of maybe good for jazz or some classical or sort of, I don't know. In pop, yeah, they happen, but not that often. And really, a mode is just changing a couple of notes. It's not that big of a deal. You can kind of pick it out by ear. You don't really have to know those other modes. But major, yes. Minor, yes. Mixolydian, bonus. More of a rock and roll. Mixolydian's more rock and roll, but it's major. It's not all dark and minory. One more thing about Mixolydian. It fits on like a G7. Because that F is in a G7 chord. So G7, you think blues, right? So Mixolydian fits with dominant 7 chords really well. And that's important. You got to know your dominant 7 chords. All right, that's it. Let's go rock.